All right, here he is back on the show, Adrian Yanez, who picked up another big win, this time at UFC Austin, a round one TKO victory over Tony Kelly. Adrian, how are you?
Man, I'm doing great. Loving living life, man. Spectacular win, man. I'm super excited.
Yeah, and you got another bonus. I mean, 11 fighters got bonuses on that card, which is just crazy. Is that something that ever crossed your mind, post fight that there would be 11 fighters that Dana gave bonuses to?
Man, I was just hoping to be one to be a fighter that got a bonus because I was like, I think I was in the media room and I was like, man, I was like, man, I hope mine was I hope I get a bonus so I can make it five straight. And then next thing you know, I was going through the knockout. I was like, man, but they had a good knockout. They had a good knockout. I don't think I'm gonna get one. Maybe a fight of the night. And then they're like, well, I don't think it was fight of the night worthy. It was too short. And then next thing you know, after the fight, like I looked down. My manager's texting me. He's like, "You got it." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And then come to find out after the fight, I see every finish got a bonus, and I was like, damn, man, they were throwing money at everybody. I love it. So I'm glad it wasn't just like four people. It was like almost the whole entire card.
Well, the card was insane and the environment was amazing. Talk about it from your perspective. I mean, hometown guy, I think you got the biggest applause out of any fighter that walked out that night. The place just erupted when you won too. What was it like fighting in front of your hometown crowd?
Man, it was a phenomenal feeling, man. It felt amazing being able to go out there and perform in front of my home state of Texas was just like, yeah, like it felt good. The walkout felt amazing. Everybody like being able to like walk down, everybody sticking their hands out because they want to high five and all that stuff. And I'm walking down just high fiving everybody, getting into the cage, never losing my focus, but still realizing that how big this moment is. And walking into the cage and the pop that I got whenever they were announcing my name, I was like, this is amazing. I looked up, I'm trying to be in that fighting mode and fighting like, no, I got to stay focused. But I'm looking up and I'm looking around and I'm seeing a sold out arena, just my name in the bright lights and just kind of just stuck in awe. And I'm like, man, this is amazing. And then after the fight, like after the knockout, like just the crowd erupted. And I just remember just being in that moment, just being like, oh my God. Oh my God, this is amazing. I was on cloud nine, man. I was pumped. They had me energized. I loved it, man. I absolutely loved it. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Is it safe to say that this moment is the signature moment thus far of your career?
Oh, 100%, especially with everything that had went into this fight, man. Like a lot, man. I had a short training camp. Like had to do a weight cut from like 64 all the way down to 35 within like a short amount of time, having to deal with Tony Kelly talking shit, having to deal with like everybody asking me about his comments, there's just a lot just in general, and then how he had even just went about everything just in general, like flicking off the crowd, everybody's booing him, and then also like the extra added pressure of like the crowd wanting to see me beat the dog shit out of him. So I was like, yeah, like he's the he was the actual true villain of the situation. I'm over here the baby faced hero. So it just happened to work out well. And I was able to perform at the best of, well, not even at the best of my abilities. I was able to perform like phenomenally well, against the guy who's very dangerous, and I went out there and made it look easy. And yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest highlights of my career, especially being able to get the win on Father's Day weekend with me just being a new dad. That was also another thing that was just the highlight of it because my son was there. So a lot of it, man, just a lot in general. And I'm so fucking happy.
Yeah, happy belated Father's Day to you, my man. I do want to ask you too, since you brought that up. What is it like being a first time dad? How has it affected your ability to train maybe as much as you normally would?
Man, honestly, like, God, I've been blessed. I've been absolutely blessed. So being a new time dad and everything, like, it's been hard. It's been absolutely really really hard. But as hard as it is, it's just the happiest I've ever been. Happiest I like. It doesn't matter how hard it is, like to be a dad or anything like that. But like, it's doesn't matter because I'm happy doing it. waking up, getting him ready for daycare, because I take him to daycare. His mom picks him up. So like it's just a phenomenal feeling, getting him ready. He sets my pace. He sets my mood immediately. As soon as I wake up, I get him ready. He's sitting there, he's smiling. Even if I woke up kind of on the wrong side of the bed, I see him, it kind of makes me be like, yeah, yeah, I'm happy right now and all that stuff. So it's like just seeing him and then dropping him off, always a fun time. And then, but it was really hard because like he would wake up in the middle of the night. Luckily for me, his mom was just on it. She was just on it. She was biting the bullet because she knew I had to train, and she understood everything, like the situation and everything. And she was just like so understanding. So I got to give her the biggest shout out. She's an A++ mother, and I couldn't ask for anything better because she went above and beyond. So I got to give her the biggest shout out, man. Like if I didn't have someone like her as a mom, I definitely would have been screwed, and like having not the greatest training sessions, not the greatest recovery and all that stuff. So like, man, like I give her all the props in the world because she made it so easy for me. Yeah. But the downside of it was that I only got to see my son in that morning for day, like when I get him ready to daycare. Every time I would come out of daycare, come home, he was already asleep. So it'd be like, fuck, so that was the sucky part. That was the absolute sucky part. But on the weekends, man, got to hang out with him as much as I could. But also being a coach, like there's some weekends where I was cornering fighters and all that stuff. So like it's been difficult on that, on just in general. But I've been like these past couple of days where I've been just at home with them have been the best days I've had, man. I'm super happy. Honestly, I loved it. I love that feeling of just being home with them a lot more than me actually winning the fight.
Wow. Well, I couldn't be any happier for your personal success, and obviously, your professional success is as good as it's ever been. Let's talk about this fight with Tony and just the aftermath. I want to start there because have you spoken to him? Has there been any communication at all? Has he apologized? Has it been like, I just wanted to hype the fight, or is this really just
Oh,
maybe him?
nah, it's really just him, honestly. It's all him, man. He started talking shit online, and like I he had sent me a message, a long-winded message, but I didn't see this until he started talking shit to me. Like, cause like I don't follow him. I genuinely don't like the guy, even after the fight, during the fight. And I was just like, okay, I just don't like you. Like, I get it. We have nothing else to say to me. Uh, Come to find out, he sent me a long message, but I only saw that he uh after he had sent like an Instagram story where he was already talking shit. And I looked, and he was even throwing comments down. He's saying I wouldn't rematch him and all that stuff. Like, bro, like what? Like you had like no success in that fight. You had no success, and I stopped you. And he's like, "Oh, it's a flash knockout." Like, no, no, you a flash knockout. You're able to pop down and pop right back up easily. You're wobbly. You're hurt bad.
You were piecing him up. It was
Yeah,
clear as day.
he was not gonna have he was not gonna have a good time. If the ref let it go, he would have been in the hospital for sure. Uh, but man, like honestly, like he just talked a lot of shit, and honestly, I kind of was adding fuel to the fire because like I was so mad, I was so pissed off, and like kind of just be on the whole like fuck you, dude, like level where I was just sharing any meme that people were making. So I honestly, yeah, it's like out of character for me, but I just genuinely just don't like that guy. To me, I don't think he's a good person. He might be a good person to some other people, but to me, nah, he's not a good guy. Even to the point where I've never had this happen before, and like the in the back after a fight and after a fight, but a lot of the UFC staff was like, man, dude, thank you for doing that. Man, that was awesome. Man, thank you for, like, a lot of people were telling me thank you. And I'm like, oh, that says something because they're great people. The UFC staff are nothing but great people. So like, if I have them telling me like, hey man, like, great job, thank you for doing that, like, it says something, So gave me another reason not to like the guy. So yeah, I don't know. I just see that guy, and I'm just like, it is what it is. I'm stopping whatever uh I let it go, whatever trash talk that or whatever's going on, I'm not going to retweet any more memes. I'm not going to do any of that because I'm not going to give that guy any more of my energy.
Man, well, one thing's for certain, he clearly is a dangerous fighter. I see you have the cut there underneath your eye, and that was and over your eye too. That was what busted you open. You were bleeding there in the first round. Did that affect you at all? Did that affect your vision?
Man, it didn't affect my vision until after the fight. But I believe this was from a clash of heads, man, because he like was leading with his head, and plus also whenever a southpaw's going against the orthodox fighter, and like they just kind of move straight in, the heads are going to collide. But I wouldn't say like he was doing it on purpose, but like I just feel like southpaw versus orthodox, he's like kind of like a switch hitter. But he was like anytime someone goes forward on either side, you're gonna clash heads. So, uh, but no, it didn't really affect my vision. I just remember in the moment when the blood started coming down, I saw it come down, and I was like, oh, oh, blood's coming down. Okay, and then he got a little bit more aggressive, and uh, next thing you know, like I was like, all right, well, whatever, and I really treated it like nothing, and pretty much he like just came forward and I just like sat down on some punches and the finishing sequence started. But it was like right after I had knocked him out, ref pushed me off and I started looking into the audience. I looked up and then my left eye started getting a little bit blurry. I don't know if it was from the blood or also a little bit of the Vaseline that was coming off of it. So it just, yeah, it was after the fight, not during.
Okay, okay. I think it was Dom Cruz that said this, that he thinks your best attribute is your defense, man. And your counter striking was so on point. It just seemed like you were landing really clean shots throughout the fight. Is that something that you, I mean, I know you know how good you are, right? But like, is that something that you kind of fall back on when you are in a firefight? Is your elite defense?
Man, I don't know. Like I really don't know. Like I would probably say so, just because whenever I'm like I try to do what a lot of these boxers do whenever they try to lessen the blow is roll with the punches. Like Canelo Alvarez does a really great job of that. Like as soon as the punch is coming and he sees it coming, but he doesn't have enough time to get the hand up or the shoulder up, he just turns with it and then comes back with a combination. So that's pretty much what I try to do. I try to replicate that in what I can, but in a firefight, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Roll with the punches, also stay technical, because if I don't stay technical, the other punch is going to be coming my way and I get caught, get dropped, and you don't want that. So uh you gotta stay technical. Even though I know I do have a chin, I just don't want to show it. So uh yeah, I do feel like that's a great attribute to have, but also I do have the attribute where I have power, so I'm able to like use it to be like, "Hey, get off me, throw it, boom," and they're just like, "Oh shit!" Like I let me get back. So I feel like the power is just like is my fallback, but the defense is definitely one of those things that I use offensively. I use my defense to help set up my offense, so it's a lot. I can break it down.
Do you know what is your reach? And is your reach long for 135?
I would say yes. Like it's usually supposed to be like your height length. So like since I'm 5'7", my reach is supposed to be at a 67-inch reach, but I'm at a 70. So so in real life I'm supposed to be 5'10", but like for whatever reason, the extra 3 went somewhere else on like my arms and all that stuff. So like, all right, cool. But yeah, like it was crazy because like Tony Kelly is 5'9" with a 70-inch reach and I'm 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. So I was like, do have a little bit longer arms for someone my size. But also like someone like it works out well for me because like I can use that to my advantage as well.
I was gonna say, because I thought either it was you had a little bit longer of a reach for the weight class, or your just striking is so precise, and it's probably a little mixture of both, man. Because you look so good in there, and ultimately this win you cracked the top 15, which a long time coming here for you. How good did that feel to know that you're finally in the top 15 of the weight class?
It honestly it was just one of those weird moments that was just like it was a weird moment for me because I like it's I forget how what I at times I forget what I'm doing and where I like how what's even just like to the magnitude of what I'm doing. I don't like I like to keep myself very grounded on a lot of things, but I did have to look at and be like, oh shit, like I am like in the UFC and I'm like top 15, and that's super hard to do. Like, and I actually like my brother-in-law messaged me and was like, top 15, man, that is amazing. You there's not too many, there's like being top 15 in the world in anything is hard to do. And you're top 15 in the world. And I was like, damn, you're right. Like, holy shit. Like, it makes me like it definitely took me for a loop and being like, damn, I'm there. It is like I'm not that far off. I'm not that far off. I'm like right there. So it's a blessing, and also it's cool to kind of sit back and think about that.
Yeah, well, it's very, very well deserved. I wanted to ask you too. Could you give me like a guess as to how many pictures you took at the UFC Austin event, and autographs you signed? I'm sure it was quite plentiful for you that night.
Yeah, it was a lot, man. Like the USC was actually trying to drag me through the tunnel while I was taking pictures, getting beer from people, and like trying to sign autographs and all that stuff. You know, I was happy I was able to get to almost every kid there, because that was the most important thing. Because I saw the kids going out there, I was like, nah, I gotta stop for this kid. Like they were being like, yeah, come on. I was like, no, I gotta stop for this kid. So I was like, I was happy I was able to do that. But no, I signed a lot of stuff, and like yeah, I thought that was super cool, man. I thought that was really, really cool, man. Like, and actually going back to the stuff where I'm tagged by a whole bunch of fans and seeing the pictures, and I was like, man, that was cool that I was actually able to do that. And it was a great moment.
Yeah, and your social media is starting to blow up as well. A lot more followers, and I wanted to get your take on, I guess, your thought process as far as your popularity rising, because I told you before the interview, and I'm just saying this objectively speaking, I think you're one of my favorite fighters to watch compete right now in the UFC. You're must see TV. You always bring it, and you're so well rounded as a fighter. Are you noticing that you're just starting to get more love and just more attention as your career evolves?
Oh yeah, man. I feel like it's starting to gather more. It's starting to gather more people. More people are trying to follow me. More people are wanting to see what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, and people are just hitting me up left and right. So I really truly appreciate that, because without them, like the UFC would be nothing. And like I'm fully aware that that's why I'm 100% like loving the fans. Like I like in a big reason why I always felt like it was like me fighting in front of fans is the best thing, because I have a fan fight friendly style, man. So it just blew up for me. And the fact that like I'm able to go out there and fight the way I do, and like getting the fans behind me is like it's amazing, man. I love it. And yeah, I just love fighting in front of fans, and I love that the fact that the fans are actually like accepting of my fighting style. So and the fact that they want to follow me is just even better, because man, if it wasn't for them, the UFC would be nothing. I would not be in the position I am today, and getting paid when I'm getting paid today. It's all the fans, because if nobody's watching, you're not getting paid. So 100%, I have all the respect in the world for them.
Now, I'm doing this interview for All Access MMA, and I think Jacob De Leon.
Yes.
He did the road to UFC Austin, which was very, very well done. Just tell me a little bit about what that experience was like.
That was absolutely fun, man. We got to talk a little bit, and it was just it was a cool experience. Getting someone to follow me around for the day was pretty cool. And he was just like, man, dude, like you're busy. I was like, yeah, I know. I get to do a lot of things, and it was fun. It was super, super fun, and getting the outside perspective coming down onto me. And I was like, yeah, this is really, really cool, man. And then he followed me from my morning session, then my next session with Eves, and then my night session with and on the wrestling day, being able to work with someone like Rafion Stotso, like just all over the place. Like it was just great. It was like, honestly, I hope he comes back. I hope he comes back, because I told him next time Jacob comes back, 100%, we're gonna be going out to eat, because we didn't get to eat this time around, but I'm gonna take him out to eat next time he comes back.
Yeah, well, I know he's going to take you up on that because he said he had a blast shooting that episode or just documentary on you, which was very well done. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you go to the All Access MMA YouTube channel and check it out. Let's talk about time frame for you next, Adrian. When's the perfect time frame for you to step back in the octagon?
I want to do October. I would want to come back sooner, but the the commission gave me 45 days because of my eye, because I guess it was a deeper gash. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm gonna be going to Vegas next week. Gonna be talking to the UFC doctors and try to see what goes on with my eye, because they're gonna cut off the stitches, they're gonna reevaluate me and just see what time frame I can do. But as of right now, I'm looking at October. Looking at October. July is gonna be kind of like my chill month, because I have a trip to Mexico, have some fun, go out there, have a little bit of fun, relax, kind of enjoy the time that I'm gonna be off, and then get right back to it because I want more of those trips.
Yeah, no doubt. And as far as the opponent goes, if you had your choice, who would it be that you want next? Now that you're top 15, I think you can call your shot, or at least maybe have a lot of influence as to who the UFC does book
Oh,
you with.
man, if it was up to me, I would 100% go with Sean O'Malley. But like, I know the reality of the situation is that he's already kind of said it in his podcast. He's kind of said it before. It's like, if he like, they also kind of made the comment that I'm not ranked, but I'm ranked now. So, it is what it is. I got a number next to my name, so it's not too far you can run. But they said that they would want to go like and fight like top seven. It's, granted, they get past Pedro Munoz. They want to go like top seven area and all that stuff. But for me, man, honestly, right after that, the next best thing for me would probably be someone like Frankie Edgar, because he still got it. He was winning the Cheeto Vera fight till he wasn't. Uh, he's a legend in the game, and it'll probably be like one of those for me that'd be like an idol turned to a rival type of deal for me. And I think that would be a phenomenal fight, just like for myself, like me, not even for the fans' sake. I think that for me would just be an amazing, like just to share the octagon with someone like Frankie Edgar. Because, man, I remember watching him fight Gray Maynard, and winning the lightweight title, and man, and like actually defending the lightweight title, so that would be like something for me. That would be a fight for me, not for anybody else, but it'd be for me. And then on top of that, I think he's like ranked number 11, so that also makes sense as well.
Sign me up. I would love to see that fight. That would be amazing. Well, look, Adrian, so happy for all your success, man. I can't wait to see you back in action. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Again, Adrian Yanez beats Tony Kelly at UFC Austin in round 1. As always, man, it's great talking to you. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor. Please tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Man, I just want to give a big shout out to my coach, Sauce Elise. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in the position I am today. Also, a big shout out to my management team, Iridium Sports Agency, Jason. Those guys, they do a phenomenal job in making sure that I do all things right. And also, a big shout out to Dukes Up Official. Man, if it wasn't for them, man, I wouldn't have my own soap. The heavy hitter scent, man, get you one. They're 4 fighters by a person who is actually trained, and it's a phenomenal soap. Get you one. Go to Dukes Up Official, buy yourself a heavy hitter, or the 3-piece or the full-on 5-piece combo, whatever you want. Like, it's amazing. It's good soap.